So how do you bring back that stuff? No more real men? To which I say, let's bring back the real men. Let's be real men. Let's become real men. Let's show them that we are real men. I call it reclaim your authentic male power. So Steve, my teacher, I'm one of his 2 apprentices, Steve P., you may have heard of him. Very tough guy, very compassionate man, very wise man, good teacher. He showed me a lot of that stuff. And he was talking about, he said, look, you know, over in Germany, you have this thing, you have this real re-masculation. You have these tough feminazis or these feminist girls, and they're like trying to ball bust. You guys have a real chance in this country. You're young, you haven't been fully emasculated yet. You haven't been sort of like processed by the matrix, chewed up and spit out. Well, that's what happens. I mean, a lot of times girls will just kind of like, not only do they test, but it may not be in their best interest. If you guys are all, they think it's not in their best interest. In the United States, it's a little different. It's when I tell guys what I do, this whole mindset that I'm coming from, kind of like a tough alpha male mindset, the guys are like, oh, little mamby-pamby about it, where the girls are like, put some balls back on these guys, will you? I mean, that's a real quote. I mean, I've heard this 100 times. And you guys are young. You're already head and shoulders above the rest because you're taking your lives into your own hands. You're making an effort. You're asking yourself, what does this whole thing mean? How can we fix this thing in our lives, and how can we fix this thing with women, which is a real killer for guys. We attach a lot of meaning to this stuff. And if we don't get it, we become either, oh, we want to be the nice guy and try to convince them. Like David D'Angelo says, attraction is not a choice. No amount of whining or buying them gifts will get that gut level response. But what makes a man a man? In my US seminars, I ask a real interesting question to guys. I ask them, is it politically correct to be a man? And then they say stuff like, well, you know, under certain circumstances, given this, and if I embrace my feminine side, maybe. And I say, stop! Are you all insane? What's up with that? How can you even answer a stupid question like that? It's loaded. I mean, come on. Politically correct to be a man. It's like having grown up in Germany, I saw a lot of that stuff, especially in the US. And they say, well, you're half German. Well, what about the past? I mean, they're like, oh, there's something wrong with you. And so in the beginning, when I came over there, I was kind of like hunching a little bit and like, I'm German. Well, I'm really American, but I'm kind of like half German. And I wasn't walking tall. I was kind of like a wuss, too. And I walked around, and I was like, always like a little turtle, like the sky's falling. So I ask you, is it politically correct to be German? Yeah. Thank you. I mean, that whole mindset is just wrong. And it's been said, I think it was Zan or somebody like that, one of those really cool guys out there, who said women are complicit in their own seduction, meaning they want to be seduced in a way. It's just, they just want you to do it right. Well, the sorry part of it is men are complicit in their emasculation. We allow this to happen. It's not them so much, but we were like trained to be what mom would want us to be. And she thinks, well, that's what girls want, so I better make him that. But it's like the frog. Y'all know the thing about the frog in the flask? You know that story? Some sick-ass scientists, they took, you gotta get into this mindset. They took frogs, right? And they got this thing, this is a technical university, they probably do this stuff here too. And they heat up water and they throw a frog in, and the frog says, yikes, and he jumps right back out, right? Any self-respecting frog should do that. But then these guys came up with another trick. They took the flask and just kind of put in lukewarm water and just put the frog in and then turned up the heat just a little bit and cool it back down a little bit. And the frog's like, see this question mark? Heat it up like just a little more, right? And then come back down. Heat it up a little more. It's kind of like the gasoline prices, right? It's like you're always so happy when it comes back down. You say, oh, great, gasoline prices are falling by 1 cent. You know, they just got jacked up by 10. And or you guys pay almost double what we're paying in the U.S. You know, we pay 65 euro cent for a liter, and we think that's like beyond. But anyway, so that's what society does with us. I do a lot of hypnosis, and hypnosis, if you take somebody straight down, it's great, you get a certain result. But if you take them a little bit down, you bring them back up, take them down a little harder, deeper, up and down, it's called fractionation. You'll get 10 times deeper results. It's a whole different thing. And this is sort of like what's been going on with people in this society, the media. You know, they're all talking about, oh, the macho man is out again, and a lot of good stuff. Yeah, but if you look at these results, it's like they want the provider. If you want to raise a baby, you want a guy, a cash machine on legs, great. Then the macho man is out. But you know, like 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 or 1 in 7 kids, they find out when they take these blood tests, isn't even theirs. They call it a cuckoo's egg. So, like, get this. Wrap your heads around this. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. was not fathered by the guy who thinks he's the father. I mean, I know a guy that it happened to. For 2 years, this girl was jacking him around. And that's just not a good thing. So we allow this stuff. Society tells us no. Like, put the toilet seat down or whatever it is. It's nice. Let's do that. I don't know. I saw a funny little postcard. And it shows these 3 pissoirs or urinals. And there's a guy taking a whiz. And 2 guys are sitting in these things like this with their pants down. It says, guck mal, der pinkelt im Stehen, hi. We're complicit in this. We allow this to happen. We want to be liked by women, and for so many years, we're so insecure of all this stuff that's been put in our heads, this mind virus. It's like a splinter in your mind, Neo. It ferments, and it just gets us into hot water. And eventually, that frog doesn't jump out. You know, it's cooked. But we're all here not to be cooked. We're all here for one thing, right? Chicks. Chicks. That's it, right? Chicks. I wanted to bring a little box full of little kuchen. And for that, you'd learn a whole new set of skills. It's called pickup, right? So you're all aspiring puas, and that forces you to examine your role as men. And that's a good thing. For 50 years, you know, we've been told that that's a bunch of BS, and women need to find their way, and men don't. It forces you to ask yourself, what is a man? What makes a man a man? What is it? What makes a man attractive to women?